Okay, it's another one of the Lumalee videos. Today we're looking at the Stu Barker Kitchen Duo, the small paring knife and the large chef's knife, as you can see here. And we're just going to give them a little bit of a workout and see what they're capable of. Okay, here we go. Just so happens that today is vegetable soup day, and to that end it gives us a good chance to try out the two knives in question. First thing up, and it's sometimes quite a, believe it or not, quite a tricky vegetable to cut. A leek is really quite dense in its texture, and so can prove a little bit tricky sometimes, especially when they're perhaps a week old, which these are, hence the reason they're going in the soup. But again, I think if we just find that, yeah, they're going through nice and steady, no real problems there. A little bit of bite in the middle. I was a little bit concerned that this bead blast finish may possibly give it a little bit of a rough surface, which creates a little bit of friction when cutting, but there's certainly no, well, it doesn't feel like it's causing any undue difference. What I will do is, my favourite chef's knife, it's the old Victorinox. Great little knife. Used this, had this about 12 years now. Gets a sharpen now and again, nothing spectacular. But I think it's when you get used to something, and I tend to hold my chef's knife in this way, and I have that where I'm bringing the heel of the blade just slightly behind me, and I've got used to that action, that rocking action. Whether it's possible to do it with this one, yeah, I am. It is feeling a little bit comfortable there, and I can get that rocking motion going, but we'll see. But this is an example with this one. We're all right at that there. Let's try it with the Barker. Spitting a few bits out, but doesn't really matter. But the cutting action of this kitchen knife is so smooth. It's very sharp. When they arrived, I gave them probably 10 minutes on the Edge Pro Apex, and then about 5 minutes on a strop with a little bit of the special magic green powder on there, just to polish up the edge, and they have come out really sharp. As I walk off camera, these are all going into the veg pot, by the way. Next thing, let's try red onion, straight through that, no problem. Doesn't have any problems with that, not that I'd expect it to have any problems with a red onion, to be honest. Get those out. This bit, how I dice an onion, may just have an impact with these two blades. The steel is really quite thick. I think we're on 3 or 4 mil on these. In fact, I'm almost sure it's 3 mil. I should have checked really. Whereas on the old Victorinox we're quite a lot finer, which I'll show you the reasons why I'm just a bit concerned about that in a second. Normally when I'm doing an onion like this, I slice in here, which is pushing the onion away really quite well. Once I've done that, I go in halfway like this, and then I cut my dices. Oh, you know what, that's not too bad. That's not too bad at all. And then I just trim the edges off in little bits like that. Let's try it again on this one. So again, coming in there. Last one. I know it does make me cringe, even doing it myself, that last little bit there. in at that angle. And then a fine chop bit. No real problems there. Gather that up into the stock pan. Should probably make this into a cooking video, more about the cooking than the knives. But I do think cutting vegetables is probably one of the hardest tasks a kitchen knife has to do. Slight tack, change of tack should I say. I always do this with my supposedly vegetable soup. I know it defeats the object a bit, but 2 rashers of bacon down the middle, and then, oh yeah, that's nice. Sometimes a knife can snag and it tends to pull the bacon up, but that was flawless. Cut straight through that, no problem. Lock that in. And because everything's going into the same pan to be cooked for about 4 hours, I don't bother changing the knife when it comes to the fresh veg and meat, because everything's going to get cooked off anyway. Carrots, again, they're just coming back and hitting this part of the scale here and bouncing off. So if I put my finger up there, it might just stop them. Yeah, you see what's happening here, it's coming up here and they're sticking to the blade. That's the only one I've found that's given it a little bit of an issue. An objective issue, of course. Let's just see what it's like with the smooth blade. So obviously they're just sliding off that now. Whereas, let's try it on here. Sliding off on that one. Whereas the bead blast surface, I think, is just gripping the carrots ever so slightly. It's getting a bit better, but you know, not a major issue. Again, let's get this lot in the pot. And now for a little bit of a try with the smaller of the 2 knives, or the paring knife. Nice red pepper. And again, I do like the feel of the handle on this one. It really does sit well in your hand, both from a standard orthodox grip and also from the more sort of like chef's grip, which again is thumb and forefinger, and just a bit of support with these here. That's fine. Through that side. Through that side. That came out well. And sometimes, because it can get quite a little bit bitter in a pepper, I always try and take that bit of membrane out down the middle. And on the left and right side as well. And through that like butter. Absolutely through that like butter. That's lovely. Really does cook well, that little knife. Again, just trim out that little bit there because it's quite bitter. No issues at all there, cutting that stuff. Really comfortable to hold as well, the small one. Really comfortable to hold. And I think finally for the little one, we'll give it a test with some small baby new potatoes. Quite a tricky one this, and again with vegetable soup for me, these potatoes are pre-washed, and all I tend to do is leave the skins on. They are new potatoes, so we leave the skins on and just chop them up into smaller bite-sized pieces. So let's see how the little knife copes with these. Again, through the middle, giving me that kind of piece. Through the middle. I mean, it helps obviously being sharp, but from a comfort point of view, I could probably cook vegetables all day with this little one. If I'm being honest, I think the rocking motion on the large one is not just as nice as it is on the Victorinox, but then again, I've been using that for, as I say, 12 or so years, and I'm quite used to that. Maybe with a little bit of time I can get used to this and get the action a little bit better. But cutting wise, the pair of them absolutely flawless, nice and sharp, which is obviously half the battle. But I really don't think my concerns about the bead blast finish have come to fruition, which were that they might be a little bit grippy, tiny little bit on the carrot, but nothing to speak of. And I think finally, after cutting that veg, we'll do the ultimate test. Now this tomato is probably about a week old. It's still quite firm, not as soggy and stringy as I'd liked it to have been for the test, but we'll just see. So first of all, we'll cut it in half, straight through, no problem at all. And then using the little one, cutting a tomato straight through. Just binding a touch there on the middle one where the skin's gone a bit soft. But again, nice edge, it's gone straight through those. The big knife. No problem at all. Cutting through all those. Lovely. So there you have it. Those are the two Stu Barker kitchen knives. Hope that's given you an insight into what these two knives are capable of, and giving you a bit of a demo on how they work and how well they cut and how good they feel in the hand. Thanks for watching.